Okay, so I've just shown you the clone stamp tool, and also at the end I showed you the spot healing brush tool. And I just showed you them that allows us to take parts of an image out that we don't want in. Now, what happens if we've got something like, for instance, the bike in this image that is a little bit more complex? We're not just taking the bike out of this image. When we look at the background, there's a lot of distracting content in the background, and if I use this, for instance, the spot healing brush to go over this, just give it a moment, you can see it makes a right pig's ear of editing that, and that's because there's a lot more content in the background that we need to be aware of. So I'm just going to press Control and Z to go back. So how do we edit an image like this and take out, for instance, this bike, being conscious of what's in the background? Well, in this instance, we need to start using selections, okay? And the most basic selection you can use, selection tool for even that you can use, is the rectangular marquee tool, which is the second one down on the toolbar menu at the top here. So if I click on that, and what I want to do is I'm going to make a selection over the image. You see, I'm not making it over the bike, I'm making it over an area nearby, because again, just like the clone stamp tool, we're sampling an area first and then pasting over it. So the theory behind this is just a matter of copying and pasting, and doing it subtly until we get the desired effect. So if I let that go, you can see that it's got the marching ants now. I'm going to zoom in just so you can see a little bit better on your screens at home. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, once that selection's made, I'm just going to hold down Control and C to make a copy. If you want to, you can go Edit, Copy, does the same thing. And then I can go Edit, Paste. Now it looks like your selections just disappeared, but what you didn't see there, or that you may not have seen, is that this new layer has been created here. And if I just turn off the base layer, the original layer, you can see that this is the new layer that's been duplicated. Okay? So what we've done is if I just step back one, we've made a selection, and if you just keep your eyes on the layers palette just here, and once I paste that selection, see it's pasted on a layer above the original layer. Now what do I need to do next? I need to click on the move tool and move that new layer that's been created over the wheel of the bike. Okay, I don't want to go too far, I want to do this in stages quite subtly. See, I'm just lining these chains up as best I can so the look that we end up with is believable. Okay, and now I'm just going to copy and paste that again, and we've got another selection in there. Okay, so now for selecting other areas, what I need to do is go back to the layers palette, just where the cursor is, just over here, and I need to go back to my background layer, because that's where I'm taking all these samples from. I don't want to be taking samples from new layers, because if I took a sample from that selection I just made, I would only be able to sample this area here. Now if I just turn off the original layer, you'll be able to see it only allows us to make selections from this. Now we always want to sample the original background layer, because that's got all the content in of the original scene. So if I make another selection on this side of the bike, see, I don't have as much to work with on this image, because we've got a shadow over to the left here, and I don't want to sample that. I just want to concentrate on the background here. So I'm just going to copy, and you you can see I've made a mistake there saying could not complete the copy command because the selected area is empty. Now the reason that's happening is because I'm still got layer 2 selected, and that's the duplicated layer, so it's just looking at content over here. What I need to do is set it back to the background layer. Now I can make a copy. Now I can paste in a new layer. If I move this across, just move it up a touch, there we go. And I'm going to copy and paste that again. Okie doke. So I'm getting a lot of layers in, it's getting a bit out of control, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flatten this. So I'm just going to go to layer, very second from bottom, flatten image, and it gets it all back down to one layer again. Just helps to keep on top of things. So I'm just going to go through this a bit quicker now, just to speed it up. So I'm going to select this area down here, go copy, paste, going to move it in over the bike chain there, and I'm going to go copy and paste again. Just undo that. Make another selection up the top here. Oh, see, I've made the same mistake there. Go back to the background layer, copy, paste, move over the image. Okay, just going to flatten this again. Make a selection down the bottom. Okay, I'm going to flatten that again just to keep on top of the layers. Helps to zoom out every now and again just to see how it's looking. We're getting there. Zoom back in, pressing Control and plus. And what I can do if I want to speed things up here, I don't have to try and edit around this pole, because that's going to be difficult because I haven't got much to sample there because it's full of shadows from the bike. It's going to be very difficult to edit. What would be far easier is if I take a selection from over here of this other pole. Say I've even got a bottle of Coke in there, doesn't matter, I can take that out afterwards, that's easy. Copy, paste. See, I keep clicking back to the move tool because I need that to move any other layers around, okay? And what will help, if you're struggling to line up where that should be, I can go over to the opacity tool here. See in the layers palette, we've got opacity and fill. If I go to opacity, turn that down to say, we'll go down to 70%. Now see, I can then see through that layer and see what's beneath. So I can line it up exactly with the layer below. And I can just turn that back on again. There we go, quite happy with that. I'll layer flatten again. Now I'm just gonna copy a bit more of a selection here. Nearly there, and again. Last time. Layer, flatten. And that's as much I'm going to do with the selection tool, because we're at a stage now where I can switch back to the clone stamp tool. And I'm just going to reduce the size of this brush, say it's way too big. That's better. And I can just hold Alt, copy areas across again. See, I've managed to sample a bit of the green pole there. Doesn't matter, I can just copy this area, copy a fresh area, paste over it. Get rid of the wheel on the bike there. Coke bottle. You notice I changed the brush size there without actually going up to the brush size at the top. All you need to do for that is just hold Control and Alt, hold them two keys down, and also click left on your mouse button, and then just move your mouse from left to right, and you can just change it to the desired size that you want. Really handy to know. Okay, so we've got rid of the main bit, but we can see that there's still areas down here where it's not quite 100%. So we can just go through. I'm just gonna edit this bit by bit until we get it. Somewhere a bit better. Maybe gone a bit too far with that. So you can see it's very much trial and error. Keep going backwards and forwards. If you've made a mistake, just press Ctrl and Z and go back again. I'll switch to the spot healing brush here. I'm just going to reduce the size. Just go back to the clone stab tool. It seems to be a bit more successful. Hold Control, take sound. Hold Alt, sorry, and paste over. Alt, paste over. Alt, paste over. Alt, paste over. If we zoom out, we've got a much cleaner image there. We've taken the bike out. Now I'll zoom back in. I'll just take the bottle out as well. Hold Alt, click over it, Alt. There we go. And we can always spend a bit more time going through editing this down the bottom, because if you see it close up, you'll see it's still a few parts of the image where you can see it's being edited, but all you need to do is spend a bit of time on it and you can remove that completely. Okay, there we go. Bike taken out of the image. Can't see it at all now.